Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This week we're talking about 26 books I plan on reading in 2026. My goal for the year is 70, so I should have plenty of room to fit these 26 in there, but I also use like the TBR wheel and things like that, so who knows what may happen. But if I could just pick 26 right now, these are the 26 I would pick. So I've been messing with my hair a lot. I got a Shark air curler thing for Christmas and I have short hair, so it's like more of like a blowout than it is actual curls, and I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. I go back and forth between like, oh my god, yeah, I like that, and then I'll look at it again, I'm like, I hate it. So I don't know, I'm getting used to it. Anyway, without further ado, my first book that I want to read in 2026 is actually a new release, and that is Dogs, Boys, and Other Things I've Cried About. If you are at all on the internet, you've probably seen Simon Sits on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you choose to consume content. The owner of this account is named Isabel, and she fosters dogs, and she is the most gorgeous prose in all of her Instagram videos, and the stories that she tells about these foster dogs are precious, and she is writing a book. And this is that book. And I really want to read it because all of her captions on her Instagram posts are so moving. She's so thoughtful. I just love her and I cannot wait to read this book. My next book is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I've owned it forever and I want to read it so bad. But I feel like in my brain it's like a back to school book. And I feel like for the past 2 years that is when my late reading slumps have hit. So I have not read it yet, and I think I'm just going to let go of the it needing to be back to school book this year and just try to read it whenever, because I've heard literally nothing but good things and I want to experience it with everyone. The next book is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I read When in Rome last year and I liked it, but I read it because you have to read, or I have to read, series in order. You don't have to if you don't want to. I do. In my brain, I need to read series in order. When in Rome is by far the one I was least interested in, but I needed to read them in order. And so I read When in Rome, check that off. Now it's time to move on to Practice Makes Perfect. I feel like people love this book, and then the new one just came out. I think it's called In Your Dreams, and people are raving about that one too. So I can't wait to eat them up. Next is Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I'm currently reading The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green and I'm loving it. I love John Green's writing. I read Turtles all the way down in high school, and this is my first nonfiction by him and I'm enjoying it so much. I mean, the concept of taking things humans have invented or had an effect on and rating them is just already hilarious and a great concept that I can't believe no one else thought of. It's genius. I want to steal it. I love it. But because I'm enjoying it so much, I want to read Everything is Tuberculosis because I've also heard fantastic things about that book and how impactful it is. I'm very intrigued. I hope it won't give me health anxiety, but I think it'll be a good read overall, and John Green's a great writer. I could read his grocery list. I love his writing. Next, it's right there, The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. I always want to say the title wrong. This book has been on my radar since it came out, and honestly, it's because of the cover. I love buffalo, I love bison. I really don't know what it's about. I think it's about... No, I'm not even gonna guess. I don't know. I just want to read it. I own it. I love the cover so much. I want to read it so bad. Hopefully I get into it this year. Let me know if you've read it and if you think I would like it. Next, we've Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. I love Rebel Blue Ranch. First one is good. It's fine. Done and dusted. It's cute. Swift and Saddled was great. I loved that book last year. I love the main characters, the writing, their depth was great. And Lost and Lassoed is the highest rated of the series. It's the third book and the highest rated, and so I'm so looking forward to getting to read it. I can't wait to see what it's about, which characters. I can't wait to go back to that ranch. It's just so idealistic. I love it. Next is kind of an odd one, and that is The Babysitter's Club. I bought the first one from a secondhand shop a couple years ago now, probably, and I still haven't read it. I just wanted to reread them because I read them when I was young, and I want to go back and relive that experience, the silliness, and I think they're still actively being written because I saw one in the library about one of the characters having a boyfriend, and that is kind of crazy to me, and I need to know. I want to know the gossip. I'm nosy. I need to know what that's about, so I want to reread the series. And I feel weird about reading graphic novels because I feel like it really distorts your reading numbers, but I'm here for a good time, so who cares? I'm not a cop. I don't make the rules. I just want to read. Next is A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is the only Emily Henry book other than A Million Junes that I haven't read yet. I want her books in paperback, so I have not read this for that reason. I'm also open to getting it from the library, but I really want to read it this year and know what the hype is about. I feel like the people I follow either loved it 5 stars or were not into it, and I'm someone who likes books that have a balance of romance and like a subplot going on, so I think I'm gonna enjoy it and I'm looking forward to that one. Next is one I've tried to put on my TBR like 3 months now, is Binding 13. I'm so intimidated by this book because of its size. The copy I have is large in size in general, but also it has really thin pages, and so I'm intimidated by the length of it. But I know it's like people's favorite series. It's emotionally destroyed people, and not that I like want that, but like I want that, you know what I'm saying? I want to know what the hype is about. I want to be that emotionally affected. I want to binge a series. I haven't done that since reading like A Girl's Guide to Murder or Powerless, where I was like, I need to read the next one. I want that feeling again, and I'm hoping that might give it to me. The next one is kind of a weird one, and that is Ranger Confidential. It's a book about a park ranger working in the national parks. I have a lot of plans this year, but none of them are travel related, really. Not none of them, but that's not one of my main goals for this year, and so I feel like I'm gonna need that form of escapism somehow, and so I thought this book would be a great way. I bought this book when I was in Yellowstone, and I've been saving it, and I feel like this year might be the year that I need to read it because I think I'll be cooped up a lot for good reason, but I'm gonna need some escapism for sure, and I think that book will give it to me. Next, I have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I need to read this before the movie comes out. I loved The Martian. The Martian was very close adaptation-wise to the movie, so I'm interested to see if Hail Mary would be the same. I watched The Martian first before reading it, and I felt like that hindered my reading experience because they're so similar. It felt like it was dragging, so I really want to read Project Hail Mary first so that I can just enjoy the movie and compare the two after the fact. I've heard literally nothing but great things. I have heard that it's pretty science-y, so I might do this one on audio. Next is another one that I've been dying to read, but I'm terrified of the size of, and that is Mile High by Liz Tomford. I love a sports romance, and these ones sound excellent, and I feel like they just keep getting better because the more new releases I see, people are loving them more and more, so I need to start the series. But I'm intimidated by the size of it. Again, it's like a 500 page romance book, and that's really long, and I'm a slow reader, so that's just gonna consume a lot of my time, but I really do want to read it, so maybe I'll get an audio and bounce back and forth to help tear the band-aid off a little bit. The next one is one I cannot believe I haven't read yet, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read a lot of her other books, not all of them, but a lot of the classics like Seven Husbands, Atmosphere, Carrie Soda's Back, Malibu Rising. So I need to read Daisy Jones and the Six. I need to listen to it on audio. I have nearly bought the physical copy so many times, but then I'm like, no, you've heard nothing but great things about the audiobook. You need to listen to the audiobook. So this is the year. I think I need to listen to it this year, and then I can watch the show. This is also the year of adaptations. People Meet on Vacation, The Love Hypothesis, others I'm probably not thinking of. I want more of them. Next, we have You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I read The X-Files by her. It's up on my favorite shelf. Literally loved it. It ruined me. It, I think, is my favorite romance book of all time. When I was doing my ranking of last year's books, just reminiscing on that, I could not believe how much I loved it, and I also miss it. Anyways, because that book is so amazing, I really want to read her other books, one of them being You with a View, which I do own, love the cover of, and so I really want to get into that. And again, I think it has a travel aspect to it, so another tally in the want to read column. Jessica Joyce, I could become your biggest fan. I cannot believe I haven't read this one yet either, because I've had it for so long and it's so highly touted, and that is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Everyone loves this book. Everyone I watch online loves this book. Everyone I know in real life loves this book. I need to catch up and get on the train. The cover is gorgeous. It's set in New York. Like, literally, what else could you ask for? I just need to lock in at this point. Next, I want to get into more of Ali Hazelwood's STEM romances. At this point, I've only read Check and Mate and The Love Hypothesis by her, I believe. Oh, and Deep End. which that's a whole other story. But I want to read Love Theoretically this year because I loved The Love Hypothesis so much. I love Check and Mate. Check and Mate's on my favorite shelf. The Love Hypothesis is on my favorite shelf. So I need to continue with Love Theoretically. One of my friends, that's her favorite of Ali Hazelwood's book, is Love Theoretically. So I definitely need to read that. I can't imagine topping The Love Hypothesis, but never say never. I forgot, also along the Ali Hazelwood mindset and a different theme is Mate. Read Bride last year, loved it, and the girlies who love Bride are loving Mate, and I need to be in on it. I don't know if I'll wait until fall to read it, like that's how bad I want to read it. Who knows what will happen. On a more somber note, I want to read The Handmaid's Tale this year. I have picked this book up so many times to buy, but I literally always put it back because I think it's going to emotionally weigh on me, which is exactly the intention of the book. The purpose, the function, why it's important is due to the content, but when the world feels so heavy with a direct correlation to the content of that book, it's really hard to put yourself in that mindset when you're living through like a light version of it. But I also feel like it's such an important read. I saw this Instagram video a few months ago about this woman who had her husband read it, and he was horrified, and she told him that every single thing that happens in the book has happened historically to women, and that really put the nail in the coffin for me that I need to read it. I knew the general concept of what it was about, but knowing that fact, I really feel obligated and called to read that book and then watch the show. I might have to space them out so I'm not too emotionally damaged, but I definitely want to consume that this year. The next book, on a much lighter note, is Little Women by Louise May Alcott. I wanted to read this so bad before Christmas last year, and it just didn't happen. I wasn't reading fast enough. I did not lock in as I should have, and I want to read this during Christmas. There's no other time, so I will be waiting till the end of this year to read it, but I will be reading it this year. Next is one to continue my Abby Jimenez journey, and that is Just for the Summer. I read Part of Your World and Yours Truly last year, loved them both, but I feel like many people say Just for the Summer is the best one, so I need to read it. I did not read it because it turned to fall too fast before I got the chance, and I can't read Just for the Summer not in the summer. So when it's summertime, this book is being put on the TBR. My next book is a new to me author. I've had this book for a while. I got it secondhand somewhere, and that's This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan is touted as like one of the best adult romance authors, and I need to start. What's taking me so long? I don't know. I'm ready for her books to change my life. All right, then my last four, I selected some rereads. I really want to do one reread a quarter this year and annotate them. I've only ever annotated Powerless, Reckless, and Red, White, and Royal Blue. Those are all favorites of mine. So I want to keep adding to that tradition. I don't feel like I'm ready to read Fearless again yet. I need to like keep digesting for a while. But here are some picks that I thought I would like to reread this year. The first is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I'm thinking about that book constantly, and like I said, having ranked it recently and really thought about it, that book is just too good. I need to relive it. I need to highlight it. I felt so deeply connected to the main character. I want to experience that again. Then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is my first Emily Henry book, and I read it quite a while ago. It'll be 2 years ago in the spring. I want to reread it because I've read all of her other books except for Great Big Beautiful Life since then, and the ranking of her books is so blurred in my mind because I want to say Book Lovers is my favorite. That was the one I felt like I had the best time reading, but Beach Read I remember being like perfect, and Funny Story was so comical. I don't know. I need to reread all of those three, but Beach Read I feel like is at the front of the line because I read it the longest ago. Next we have Georgie All Along by Kate Clayborn. This book nobody talks about. I found it at a secondhand bookstore, read it. It's amazing. I can't believe more people aren't talking about it. The whole premise is that this girl made a fanfic of herself in high school, like all the things she saw herself doing. And now that she's grown up, she's lost her job, she wants to go fulfill the fic. This guy she's friends with, forced proximity with, helps her out, completes her fic with her, and it's so good. I read it very early on in my reading journey, so I'm scared it won't age well, but I also feel like I have faith in myself. Oh my gosh, another Ali Hazelwood, Check and Mate. I loved Check and Mate when I read it, and I feel like when I recommend it, I know it was good, but people are so skeptical because it's YA, but like for real, it's for real, and I want to reread it and I want to mark it up. And then a bonus one I wanted to add in here because I've been thinking about it a lot over the last few days, same reason as The X-Files, because I ranked it, Anne of Green Gables. Since I started talking about that book more consciously again, I'm constantly thinking about it and thinking about Anne and thinking about the audiobook and how good it was. And then I saw my aunt yesterday and she's listening to Anne of Green Gables and she's having the best time, and I'm jealous. I want to read Anne of Green Gables again. I want to mark it up. I have a special edition copy on my wish list for this year, so I'm really hoping I get it so that I can annotate it because that book is just so freaking good. All right, that was 26 books plus one freebie that I want to read this year. Let me know if you have read any of these and if you agree that I should read them, or if you also want to read them this year. Other than that, I will see you next time.